Hey, Don here. Okay, back again with the live stream, and I'm going to do something I've been wanting to do for on and off for quite a while, and I'm going to decide I go. It's time to do it. So let's see. Now here's camera one, the one I usually use on me, and camera two that I use for other things. It's aimed outside as a security camera right now, my other phone, and I don't want to leave it like that. This would be 1 and 2, and so on and so forth. So anyway, I want to be able to use, still want to, I want to go back to being able to use my, I'm going to leave it that way, for a while here. But I want to go back to being able to use it, like I usually do. And I really, it's stuck up in the window, and I don't really want the camera stuck in the window. This morning sun will be shining on it. Won't be good for it. It might overheat enough to shut it down in the hot summer. I have had them shut down when I was out in the garage in the hot summer. Just shut down on me. They got to. I couldn't handle it. I can't remember the exact temperature, but it was 102 or more. That summer was a hot summer. We had days of, let's see. We had 2 weeks of days between 106 to 110. I think we had 1 or 2 days of 112. And I was out there. I was out there some of those days. Didn't realize it had got so hot. I was in the garage and I was dying, but I didn't know it was that hot. Anyway, I don't remember the temperature. Above 102, I'm sure. Anyway, it wasn't quite that hot in the garage with fans running and stuff, but it gets hot in that garage. Anyway, the IP webcam app is what I'm using, and it works really. That's what it's really for. It's more for surveillance type app than anything. A remote IP webcam. I mean IP camera. So which are usually used for surveillance. But anyway, I use them to make my videos with. Or sending a streaming video over the Wi-Fi. Anyway, right here on the page I'm on. This is one of the ZoneMinder pages. It's a security app. It's an IP webcam app. You can use regular analog security cameras if you have. I have a card that came on one of the computers that was given to me by my old neighbor, but no cameras. The kind that you hook up with a BNC, B like in boy, NC connector. But I don't have any cameras, so I can't use that. But and these, they're that kind of. Well, I mean, they still. Actually, I was looking at some security cameras the other day, and still plenty of them that use that type of setup. But kind of seems to be the best deal. Since they'll buy around 4 of them with a DVR that comes with it. I don't know. Maybe you can sell one for about $200. Well, there's a bunch of them for around $200. But anyway. I was looking at them mostly for making my videos with, but I feel the need to have security cameras, outside, looking outside, or being outside and looking, around, looking at the door and stuff like that, whatever. But for right now, I have 2 web cameras, and I'm going to set one of them up, if I can, on I already have my web server that runs 24/7, so all I got to do is plug in a USB camera to it. And ZoneMinder works with USB webcam, webcams too. It'll work with pretty much any kind of camera you can plug into hook up to a computer in one way or the other. So I imagine it would record these streams. Actually, I think I saw an app on their page. Yeah, I did. I saw an app for that. There was an app for that. It wasn't a free app. It was a $5 app, I think. But there is somebody that's made a project for that. But anyway, I'm running Fedora, which is made by Red Hat, Linux. And so these are the instructions on how to install it, basically. The setup, you have to read the Readme file. I've already read ahead, looked through all this. I played with it years ago, in 2000 I discovered Linux in 2005, and I played with it shortly after that. I had found the ZoneMinder live CD and downloaded it, and I still have it, but it's old now. It still would work, but they got away from setting up ISOs for live CDs, and they just tell you how to install it on whatever system you have. but it has always been pretty. It was hard for me to set up, and I never actually got it running on any of the systems I tried it on. And I was reading the instructions here, and it tells you follow these instructions exactly. If you do this and or do that, or don't do this and don't do that, right here, how to know and avoid problem, how to avoid known problems, you will not only not have a working ZoneMinder set up, but you may break your system. So I never broke my system, but I never got ZoneMinder to work. And there was a lot of manual setup and editing config files and stuff. But installing it's simple. Sudo DNF, and Fedora 29 is what I'm running on the server. Sudo DNF install ZoneMinder. I can do that in the terminal window. But and I'm not going to read all those things. I'll just, if you're interested in it, you can go to the page there and read what pertains to your distro. It works in Domain and Fedora and anything that was built. Well, not anything that's built. Some of the remixes that warned you that it may not work right, but like anyway, you just have to. There's a lot to. You just have to look through it if you're wanting to do it, because there's. I couldn't tell any. Well, like I said, I'm learning. I'm going to see if I can do it. Again, I'm going to try again and see if I can do it. And I thought I'd make a video while I was doing it, so I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm learning. Real Red Hat Linux, CentOS is made by Red Hat, and Fedora is made by Red Hat, so they're in the same family. Let's see now, where is the section on how to install? Set up your environment. Let's see. Let's do this. Fedora, I don't want to skip any of this sections on Fedora, and it explains a lot about Fedora and stuff in here too. What it is and everything, which is pretty cool. I've never seen such a nice, quick, concise explanation about what Fedora, the relationship between Fedora, Red Hat, and CentOS anywhere else but on here. But, okay, so that's gone past where I know I want to be. Yeah, so you can build your own. I'll just go to the bottom and back up, I guess. Build your own. You can do it. Building from an SRPM. There's lots of options on how you can do it. So I guess I'll go back through here. Yeah, but that helped me a lot. Right there, got me a good quick. What to pay attention to, pay real good attention to the instructions and do them just right. Because since I've been running Fedora since 05, I tend to just say, well, I know how to do that. I'll just do that. Do this, and then that's actually not going to work if you. I'm almost certain I don't have ZoneMinder already installed. I could have done it, with the installer. I use the net install. You can select all kinds of different things. So, but I'm going to make sure. Try to make sure before because if it's already installed, you need to uninstall it, and not only uninstall it, but manually delete all the files. So I would say if you're going to install ZoneMinder, do it on a fresh install on operating system. I wouldn't fool with going and finding every related file. That'd be hard. Yeah, okay, back. Here's something. Certain commands in these instructions require root privileges while other commands do not. This is unusual too. Pay close attention to this. If the instructions below state to issue a command without sudo prefix, then you should not be root while issuing the command, because that's what I normally when you're installing any kind of application, you need to be root. Anyway, getting this incorrect will result in a failed build or worse, a broken system. That's one of the big warnings. So, how did I skip the regular section? I do this so badly. I'm just skipping right over it. See, I'm back to the bottom of the page again. Somehow I've skipped over the section I want to use to install. Fedora. Yeah, that's not it either. I'm not doing Yum because that's for CentOS uses Yum still. That's RPM. Now that I've gone up and back and forwards, I would have been better off just reading my way through, but I didn't want to try to mumble through all that. Well, there I am right there. I guess. Oh, I was just skipping over it. It's just short and sweet. So the first thing you have to do, if you're using Fedora, then you need to install RPM Fusion repo. Set up the RPM Fusion repos. It's got a link straight to the page, so I'm going to do that first. I don't think I've done that on that server because I wasn't installing any extra stuff that's not in the regular Fedora repos. And then you do you know what? Maybe I better pay attention to that. What I was going to do is go log in as root and then start working. And I was going to skip the sudo and just do DNF install ZoneMinder. But if I get some, it says, where I probably would get in trouble is it says once ZoneMinder has been installed, it's critically important that you read the Readme file at user share doc ZoneMinder. ZoneMinder will not run without completing these steps. Now that's where I might need to run some commands as regular user or as root, one way or the other. So that warning I just read out, I know it was further on down. It could only really pertain to I don't know where I was now when I saw that warning. I think it was on down here. Let's see if it's in that quick links at the top. It wasn't in the how to avoid known problems. It was further on down than that. I need to remember that. Could have been just like sometimes they put a warning like that, like at the end instead of towards the beginning. Now I don't. Oh, here it is. Important. Yeah, I think that probably still does pertain. How to build your own. Oh, okay. This is under how to build your own. So perhaps that really pertains to if you're building your own ZoneMinder package. I would kind of think so. Seems like the last time I tried to run some stuff as, logging in as Dawn and running stuff, I ran into a lot of headaches. So if I just pay attention, like they said, if it says sudo, then they want it to be root privileges, and if it doesn't, then it means you're a regular user. So if I can pay attention to that, maybe I'll be all right. A lot of things. I just remembered I never have checked my audio on my stream, and for a 3 months now. So. Okay, now, yes. So I'm going to go. Oh yeah, I need to get me a terminal open up. I think I'll use just a regular terminal. Actually, I think I still have. No, sure don't. That was something else. Should have known that was gone by now. I've opened up a file from one of the last times I got in there doing a remote terminal. There we go, and that's exactly what I need to log in there. So and it just asked me for the password. Let's see. See if I typed it right. Yep. Okay. So now I'm logged in a remote terminal to my Acer laptop's Fedora 29 server. Now, I'm just going to go ahead. What I was doing here in this little file, I saved all the output from when I installed a speed test CLI application. You can do a speed test in the command line, and I thought, you know what? Let's see what let's just run it. So I'm just going to copy that in there and paste that. It's already installed now. I was installing it. And so it'll just run a speed test. I've known about this for a few years, and then I'd forget. And there's so many times this would be so handy. If you want to run a speed test on a machine remotely, you can do it. It doesn't just have to be a server. This one is a server without a GUI, so it's the only way you can do it. When I did it that first time, I remember I thought that was just onboard 100 megabit Ethernet, and let's see what it came up with. Yeah, 209 megabits download and upload 8.50, and that's while I'm streaming. I have 10 megabits up, and I'm streaming right now, so it's cut back some. And I mean, I haven't done another speed test today, so I don't know if I was a little under 10 to start with. It might have been. But because that's what, 2.5 megabits, 8.5, 9.5, 9.5, 10. Oh, that's 1.5 megabits. Oh, that's 8.5 is a half. Okay, so it might be that that might be exactly how much it takes to stream. I think it probably is. Okay, so this one doesn't have any other commands. I've got some other commands I've saved, and I want to see. Well, let's just go ahead and set up that RPM Fusion, and then if I need to do like a lookup, to see like if before I try to install ZoneMinder, I want to make sure it's not already installed. Maybe I should do that before I even do. I can do this. Remember let's see, the list command. I can't remember the command. I know it's a simple command. I'll try to do Control V. That doesn't work in that terminal. No. Oh, I think you could do not sniff. I'm terrible at remembering commands. Evidently, that was a real command. It's working. But I don't think I think it's just going to list all the ZoneMinder apps. I noticed I went ahead and looked in my Fedora 28 system that I'm streaming from earlier, and there are different versions to get, and there's one that's specifically for Apache web server. It's called HTTPD ZoneMinder, and that is the one I want. So I'm wondering if just typing that will I get the one I want too. So yeah, see, there's modular. Yes, I remember that. And then there's modular updates, and there's not as many. A matching package to list. So that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Just trying to remember commands. Let's see. I've been looking through, and I didn't find that command I'm thinking of. I guess I might have to search on the. See if it's in here. Most of these are installing and running something. So, DNFY group install. Let's see. That's another thing. Let's see. I don't want to do any group installs right now. I'm sure I have that command somewhere, but I already looked in 2 folders and didn't find it. So my Linux commands folder. Might be, whoops, oh, Fedora 29 info. That was a slip of the fingers, but that's might be actually what I want. Group list v hidden. That will tell you what's installed, but it's a long list, and I really just want to know if one application, but it might have that command in there. That whole, I don't know what all's in this file. Well, let's look and see what's in this file. See if I can get it to open up in that other workspace. I think this is from when I was running. Yeah, DNF group be hidden. That'll give you a list of all the groups. That's what this is. That's what the yeah, I think that's going to be install groups, so on and so forth. Let's see what's on here. Might be a good start. Unknown configuration. Oh, yeah, it's going to be very long. Okay, so no, not as long as I thought. Available environment groups. Let's see, installed server. Oh, I did install Mate Desktop. Okay. I didn't remember doing that. So I suppose I could actually get on the machine. I don't know. I may have not ever got it to where it would. Sorry, let me get a cough drop. I might not have got it to where it would work. I don't remember now. I think if I did install it, I probably got it to where I could go over there on the system itself and type mate, and start it up. But it won't help me remotely, and that's how I want to do it, so I can make my video anyway. So, but if I run into trouble where I can't do everything in the terminal, then I could probably do that. I'd have to aim that camera too that's aimed outside would be the one I'd be wanting to aim at. Well, actually, no, where that laptop setting, could use camera 1 because it's up there by it. Okay, so install environmental groups and then install groups, administrator, editors, headless management, made applications, text-based internet. Yeah, I knew I did a real basic install, but I did install Mate. I don't know if I finished setting it up to work or not. Don't remember now. Unless if I look through my commands, my previous commands, I would find out. Oh, that might not be on this machine, though. That's right. This is in my Fedora 29 server. I mean, yeah, that's when I did it on the IBM. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I did it on the. Matter of fact, at the top it might say, yeah, root at Bishop Co. That's the IBM. my old web server. I went and installed Fedora 29 on it, and then the fan started making noise. That's what it was. So yeah, this folder just said Fedora 29, and I just put everything to do with Fedora 29 in here for a while until I decided to use the Acer, and I wanted a new folder. So I try to organize stuff so I can find out what pertained to, when I save those files of my terminal output. I try to keep them in the folder that tells me what machine it was on too, you know, not just what operating system. Yeah, I tried this on Fedora Broken Boot. I had a hard time figuring all that out, how to make it work right. But sometimes I just save it in my Fedora 28 folder without thinking. NF update. Here's some more NF group commands, but I don't think I'll go in there this time. Yeah, that's where I was building my script, I think. Okay. That in alphabetical order so I can just compare them a little. Okay. There's another Fedora 28 info. General. One of those DNS server stuff when I was trying to set up a DNS server on the IBM. Okay, like sometimes my folders actually they're not just related to HTML files, you know, sometimes they're actually, yeah, see, scripts. There's a script. It's kind of hard to decide how to do that because when I save HTML files in a folder like that, then you know, it is hard to find which folders actually have stuff I want to get into. Then the Linux commands folder. I think maybe all those are. If they end with underscore files, that means it goes with an HTML file. It's just what makes, you know, all the images and everything to make it work. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it as it is now and have to do a search, I guess, since I can't. It won't hurt to go ahead and install RPM Fusion, though, because set it up. I'll do that first. No, I don't want to forget. I know me. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Listing packages. Oh, I know where. I have There you go. I bet I might have some of those things in there, but it might not have actually saved the commands. I may just have saved links. That's the Fedora documentation, so we'll go there. I started to go there, but those can be good and they can also mislead you sometimes. There's two places that should be, one or the other should be good. Well, I did do list. Okay. Excuse me. See what this one is. Well, that's different. Oh, that page didn't come in. So it's going to be, I guess it's going to be DNF list installed or something. Let's see. Installed. But I don't want to list everything that's installed. Oh, all packages again with KRB. Okay. Okay, so where did that go? There. We'll try. I just thought maybe I'd look. That's still not Nano. That's a text editor. Oh. That's a general Linux command. I want specific to Fedora so that I won't run into any confusing answers. Okay, now I want zone. There we go. Maybe give me too many, but we'll see. It didn't actually work. Let's just say ZoneMinder. Oh, maybe you weren't supposed to. Let's try it without the quotation marks. That might have been what happened. DNF list installed ZoneMinder. Oh, that means it's not installed. Right. Yeah. The quotation marks I don't believe go in there. Well, actually, it just said the same thing every time. Okay. I feel much more positive when I can just use the GUI. Okay, so but that's a good little set of commands, though. Oh, DNF list available. Let's see. DNF list available. GStreamer. I'm sorry. I don't want to plug in though. I want to know. I'm wondering if ZoneMinder It's actually two. I don't think. Well, it wouldn't be two words. Let's see. Yeah, one word, ZoneMinder. Okay. ZoneMinder. Okay. I just remembered something. No matching packages. Why? Because I haven't installed. See, I have RPM Fusion. I was like, why isn't that working? It's not working because I haven't installed or set up the RPM Fusion repos yet. So, I was wondering, Fedora 30, is Fedora 20 actually out? This is June 11th. It may have came out and I didn't even. They've got it. The RPM Fusion repos are there. So Fedora 30 may be out now. I'm assuming this thing hasn't been automatically upgraded to Fedora 30. Now, how do you repo list or something? How do you do that? There's a way to tell what version you run in a real easy command. Now, I've just kept getting into more and more things to actually check kernel version would be the thing. It's what you're going to get when you do that command anyway. 3 ways to check the kernel version. Oh, well, these are not just going to be. That's great. I mean, I think they're not all in the terminal. Oh, uname R. Uname A. That gives you more. And then, let's see. I think maybe that cat one, that'll actually read a file. The cat means it's reading a file. I know that much. Using the dmessage command. Now that sounds like one that I usually would see. Let's go ahead and do that one. It seems to be giving out more information. Okay. There we go. 5. Okay, it's got the newest kernel, 5.16. FC29. Okay. I almost forgot to look at it. I saw that. Mockingbird. Mock build. What is it? Mock build. See, it checks. This system runs 24/7, so it checks for updates every night at I think 3 a.m. and updates, and then reboots itself if it needs to. So. Manufacturer. Linux. Manufacturer of the operating system, I guess. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's Fedora 29. Actually, I know it's 64-bit. Okay, that's a really good one. So sometimes it takes a long time to search that stuff, and sometimes it's real quick. Source. Oh, free and non-free. So first we need to do the free. Updates, testing, tainted. We don't want anything tainted. That's if you have a tainted kernel, I think that's what that means. I remember right. x86-64. That should show us. That's not the commands. What is this doing? This is just telling us the packages. Oh, browse directly. I must have skipped it. For users. Okay. Oh, here we go. Activated on your system. You need to do, when it says free and non-free, open source software as defined by the Fedora licensing guidelines. Non-free are the things that wouldn't fit into their category as considered to be completely open source, basically. Okay. 22 and later. 29 and later. Oh, this will catch them both. Oh, and then I'm gonna have to reboot. Sure looks like it. Well, that's not hard to do. Not gonna do sudo because I'm already logged in as root. It's gonna download it from the address, the free release, and then it will download, and it's gonna install the non-free. So you can do one long command and get them both all at once. That's one good thing about doing it in the terminal. Uh-oh. Like I said, you got to do them separately. It says not found. So let's try them one at a time. I believe you should be able to do them, though. Well, let's try it with the sudo because it won't hurt to have sudo. Maybe I just miscopied something, but because it may not be working because they're on separate lines like that, and it may have broken the string. Let's try it again with the sudo. Most of the time it doesn't hurt anyway. Let's see if I have any extra spaces or anything anywhere. I didn't check the other time. It could be a lot of times you'll get when you copy something to paste it, you'll get an extra space at the beginning or the end. Didn't. Let's get on down to the end. It won't let me. I have to go through every. I can't do up and down. I have to do right and left only. Okay, let's see what happens now. RPM OS tree command not found. Okay, so I don't understand. Oh, there's a space right there. No, that wouldn't be it. The way they have it written out, I believe they expect it to work, and I'm almost certain I've done it before. Now I'm going to have to try to figure out the end of that command and try to do them one at a time. RPM OS tree, that's where it starts. Oh, it's all written out as one long command. Well, let's try pasting it into a text file then. See if there's make sure there's no breaks in it. Use kwrite because you can make it get rid of word wrap. Now let's make sure we don't have anything we don't want. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any extra spaces or anything. Now let's copy it from there. I do have a file where I saved how to do this, but you have to put in your do not know what's wrong with it. Okay, well I have a file where I saved it, so evidently it worked. And I think maybe let's see what we have to type in there. because it'd be hard to download the. I used to just always download the RPMs and run them, but it got harder and harder to do that because you had to. Fedora quit coming with all the additives to make you be able to install from RPMs, and you had to go find them and install them. And that got to be a pain. So I just started going ahead and doing the command line, and I found out, oh, hey, that's pretty easy, just that one line, but now it's not working. So, that says Silver Blue. I never heard of Silver Blue. There's my problem. So Fedora 22 and later is what I want. You've been sitting there yelling at me the whole time? Can't you read? No. My eyes are crooked, and they swap letters and numbers and put in things that are in my imagination. And okay, it's taking longer, so maybe it's going to do something. Never even heard of Silver Blue. If that's what it was, I was trying the wrong command. Go. Okay. Yes, we do want to install that. Yeah, then you don't got to worry about which one to install first because it's in the command. You know, it does the free first, and then if you do with the RPMs that you download, then you need to, or if you run the command separately, you need to do free first and then non-free. Okay, so that's done. Now, let's see if we can find one of those commands about ZoneMinder and run them again. Well, let's just see if we can use the up arrow key. If it's still in the memory list, available ZoneMinder. That's the one of the ones I'd like to run. Let's see if we have it available now. Oh yeah, I haven't rebooted yet, but it looks like it's showing it anyway. But I'll go ahead and reboot to be safe because it said you need to reboot. It's not normal to really have to reboot. Oh, it said for it to show up, maybe to make it show up in your GUI apps, which I'm not using. Maybe I don't have to reboot, but I think it'd be safer. Yeah, okay. Available packages 1, ZoneMinder x86-64. But I think I will reboot anyway because, you know, skipping instructions thinking you're smarter than the average bear usually means you're not. And you're going to mess up. So where did it say that? I want to make sure that it might have been, I don't see it here in this section. Maybe I saw it up in the graphical section. I'm going to save this page. I'm just going to call it that. Okay, and oh yeah, oh that was in Silver Blue, so yeah, you don't have to in Linux then. Okay, so I don't have to reboot. It's because I was in Silver Blue. So one day remind me to look at what Silver Blue Linux is. Never heard of it. Sounds interesting. Don't want that. Discard. Okay. Now, well, that's actually good. I was thinking to myself, well, if it's showing up, it really doesn't seem like I should have to, you know, reboot. And it's not very normal for Fedora to have to reboot, just doing normal installs and stuff. Now, I'm going to go ahead and install ZoneMinder. Go over here, and I have a webcam plugged into it, and I checked it to make sure it would work. It works in Fedora 28. I have 2 old webcams. Okay, DNF installs ZoneMinder. It's kind of odd that I saw other, versions available. Okay, it's going to install all this stuff. Oh yeah, I didn't think to check FFmpeg. It said if you have FFmpeg installed, you'll want, really, I think it said to uninstall it. I'm almost certain I don't have FFmpeg. I could check and see. I guess I could say no, and then I guess I'd be sorry if it doesn't work. I won't know for sure. But yeah, it's going to install everything that's going to make it work. It's going to be 200 megabytes altogether. I'm going to say no so that I can check FFmpeg. FFmpeg. Let's try that. No. Oh, not available. Installed. NF list installed FFmpeg. Okay, so we're good. So now we're going to DNF install ZoneMinder again. That is, let's go double check. Well, let's watch this run again. Make sure we don't have problems while we're away. Okay. I think that was in the how to evolve problems. Should have read those out. I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to skim over them. Says, yeah, the main thing is if you've installed it before, you're not starting clean basically, so you need to uninstall it and then go delete everything, like look under user local and all that. And I was saying I wouldn't do that. And unlike the Bane, you don't have to have a LAMP server installed. Yeah, here it is. Disable any other third-party repos. This threw me off for a while, and uninstall any of ZoneMinder's third-party dependencies. That's if you had ZoneMinder already installed, which might already be on the system, especially FFmpeg and VLC. Now, I could have VLC on there, and so let's check that. I'm going to have to, because I might have VLC on there. That's my favorite player. And I can always just uninstall and reinstall VLC. But you know what? VLC is in the RPM Fusion repos, and I didn't have RPM Fusion on there, so hopefully I won't have VLC already on there. I just said install VLC. You dummy. I said DNF install VLC instead of, why would it be so big? I don't want it though. We'll just say no. 492 megabytes. No. DNF list install. I almost hit enter in no macking packages. You know what I mean? DNF install ZoneMinder. Okay. Get this right sooner or later. See why I don't work in the command line anymore and I have to. I've actually been having to do it, finding reasons why I really need to do it more and more the last couple of years, and I'm getting better. I knew I would, I guess, if I would just try, but I got so aggravated every time I tried to do it, trying to type things out and getting them wrong over and over for hours and hours. I just got burned out. I just got burned by it so bad in earlier years. But little by little over the years, I actually picked up more of how things work in the Linux terminal. And so, I've got more of an intuition on what to do and stuff now than I used to. And I finally learned, don't try to do anything if you don't try to remember commands if you don't remember commands good like me. Just go look it up like I've been doing. It takes time, but it's better than spending hours screwing up. Okay, I'm going to read this warning. RPM Fusion. FFmpeg, signature. Okay. Import the GPG key, so-and-so, so-and-so. Yes, yes, I do. Yes, yes, I do. Key imported. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was saying yes or no to. And well, so you know whether or not you want to say yes or no. And it was telling you, I just remember that there was another. Actually, it said something about how to import the keys for RPM Fusion. And I forgot to go and check into that, but evidently it worked because, unless that's why I got that message. No, that's not for, or wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that key is RPM Fusion free updates key, I guess. Or is that the key for ZoneMinder? Anyway, now it's going on and doing its thing. But yeah, I should have let this. Well, we've got quite a few apps, 206 apps, and we're on 33. So I'll go over here and show what I'm rambling on about. Where is that? Okay, no, here's, yeah, I closed the site. So on the site, the first thing was enable RPM Fusion and verify RPM Fusion signing keys. Oh, okay. I just gave myself a place to put that earlier today. Where is it? RPM Fusion, yeah. And I hadn't realized that I didn't save the direct link directly to the how to install page either. Okay, so diddly signed, all of them are diddly signed, digitally signed. Verify. If you're newly installed RPM Fusion, wish to verify its keys. Oh, okay. If you want to verify the key before to install RPM Fusion, you can see. Okay, so that's not absolute. I mean, it's smart to do, but it's not absolutely have to do thing to make it work. That says Fedora 19. Oh, I was right there by it. Fedora 29. Yeah, here it is right here. It doesn't give you the commands here, though. It just gives you the keys. So I've been using RPM Fusion for as long, actually I think as long as it's been out, because it used to be a different, it changed it over from something to RPM Fusion. It used to be, I forgot what it was called. I've never had one problem with it, so let's hope today's not today. It's getting there, 180 something. So since I'm already installing the repo, so yeah, it's a little late now anyway to be verifying all those things. So going and finding the commands and all that stuff. It might have been at the top of the page and I didn't quite see them, but let this, well, let's go ahead and watch it finish. It's getting really close, unless we end up with some big packages that take a while, but I didn't know VLC had. I thought VLC would have like at the most 30 megabytes with all its plugins and everything, but for some reason when you just saying DNF install VNC, it was 400 something megabytes, and this whole RPM Fusion, a whole ZoneMinder, it was what 200 some odd megabytes, and I'm wondering. See, I'm gonna try to remember to copy and paste all this into a file so I can have all this to review if I need to, especially if I have trouble. After so long, it will drop off the top commands, so I need to check that here when this is done and see. I'll just remember that. You can go and get quite a bit. It'll hold quite a bit in the cache or buffer or whatever they call it. But we're there. See, now we're doing the ZoneMinder. There's that telling you before you starting ZoneMinder, you must read the Readme file and finish installation or upgrade, and it's located there. Let's go ahead and get that. That's for the next thing I was going to talk about. I was going to go back to the article to say that, but to show that. ZoneMinder, yeah, HTTPD. So it installed exactly what I need to go with my web server. That's the web server I have is Apache web server, which is it's always shows up as HTTPD, especially in the processes. So it installed the right one. I guess it was automatic to see what you needed. I guess VLC core. That's what there is right there. I was just wondering. From what I gathered, the reason you needed to not have VLC already installed is because it was going to install, I guess, a version of VLC that would work properly with ZoneMinder. Maybe there's things like that is exactly what I already had. I'm sure I already had FFmpeg and VLC on my systems when I installed ZoneMinder, and I never caught on to that gotcha right there. So here's a list of everything that it installed, all the applications. Okay, it's done. So, now that address is in this article somewhere, although I'll just leave that there, I guess, because that search didn't find it. Oh, there it is. User share doc ZoneMinder, but it's not where it's going to be in this install. It's going to be in user share doc. Oh, I see. They didn't ZoneMinder common readme, so I need that address big time. That's not. I might have had a hard time finding it from this information right here. Right here. May have found it, but I might not. Let me. Oh, if I copy all this, let's see. Let's go ahead and get me a text file started. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try to copy, select all, copy, and I'm debating here, see if it got everything so far. Did, that'll be nice. Yeah, looks like the exact beginning of everything. So, but I'm getting to where I need a break. So I may have to go take that break before I continue. I'm trying to decide if I'm really going to have to. Let's see, documents. Guess I didn't put Fedora 29, I just put Acer. Well, let's do that. I don't think I have to put .text since I'm using a text editor, but well, let's just go. Or we can do clear. No, let's just leave it there. It won't matter if I lose some of it. Well, it does make it hard. Yeah, clear it. Okay, now MC for Midnight Commander, and from here on out, I'll be. Let's see. Can I? Oops. I was thinking, can I type that address and just go straight to it somewhere? Doesn't. If it can, I don't know exactly where to do it. Okay, so let's just find it. We're going to go to user share doc ZoneMinder. Find it from there. Okay, user USR share. Already forgot. User share doc ZoneMinder. I'm up there. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can't do that. Can't type in there to get there. Doc ZoneMinder. So I'm doing a remote twin panel file manager called Midnight Commander. I'm just using the arrow keys to go down through there. Boy, there's a lot of files in there. Can I hit? Yeah, end. There we go. Because hitting on the keyboard and got to the bottom. Now, Readme. That's what I want. Right? Oh, over here is where I copied the actual address. Yeah. Okay, so getting confused about where to go. Oh, here. Okay. Now, we're going to view. That's number 3, not F3, but 3. Oh. 3, enter? No. Oh, I forgot. I think you can use the mouse. Let's see. The last time I was in one, that's not working. Oh, you can say no. So I got to use the keyboard. Okay. Why is it not working? I don't know if I got it all out of whack. Let's see. I think 3 is it. No. I swear that's the way to do it. Maybe because it doesn't have a file extension, it doesn't want to open it or something. Could be. Let's see. File, view file. Let's try it that way. Readme. Okay. There, that worked. Okay. I actually think I should probably copy that file over to my system, but let's actually, well, we'll look at it first. ZoneMinder release notes for a list of new features. Go to GitHub. Contents of the ZoneMinder Apache config file have changed. In addition, this ZoneMinder package now requires you to manually symlink the ZoneMinder Apache config file. See new install step 6 and upgrade step 3 in the appropriate README for details. This package has been split into sub-packages to allow compatibility with other web servers. Here is a breakdown of the available packages. ZoneMinder Meta packages install ZoneMinder Common and ZoneMinder HTTPD. This exists solely for backwards compatibility. ZoneMinder Common files do not differ based on the web server. ZoneMinder HTTPD is what I want to be using. Files needed for compatibility with the Apache web server. ZoneMinder ZoneMinder NG Inks and NGI. I always call it NGINX. That's easier for me to say. Files needed for compatibility with the NGINX web server. You can switch between different packages with DNF and YUM. Be advised that switching between HTTPD and NGINX requires manually changing ownership of all event folders and PHP session folders after the change. If you have installed ZoneMinder from the Fedora repository, that's for Raspberry Pi. I've used that before. This build of ZoneMinder has support for Raspberry Pi hardware acceleration when using FFmpeg. Unfortunately, there is a problem with the same hardware acceleration when using libVLC. Consequently, libVLC support in this build of ZoneMinder has been disabled until the problem is resolved. In this build, see the following bug report. Okay. Yeah, libVLC is so that it'll work with VLC, video LAN. So is it only a problem on Raspberry Pi, or? Okay, if you've installed it from Fedora. Okay, so I'm not doing Raspberry Pi. Continue on to the next README that corresponds to the chosen web servers. README F HTTPD when using Apache, and README SU when using NGINX. Okay. So that symlink. Oh, I guess it's going to tell you exactly where that symlink needs to be. Okay, I hate to break up a long video that I could so easily make super long, but I have to have a break. So just trying to look and see how long my video is. I guess I may as well leave this right where it is. I was going to shut it and all that stuff, but we saw the list a minute ago, so I'm just going to go take that break and let's see what our camera looks like at night out there. It looks dark, very dark. I set it on night compatibility mode, and as you can see, there is a light there over the driveway, but I don't guess it's going to do much any better than that. Well, I was just real curious. If the porch light was on, it would help quite a bit, I'm sure. So I'm going to go take a break and then try to come back and work on it some more after my break. All right.